Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for Season 3, Episode 9 of Awkward Reality Check. Now before I get to that, I am going to say that, you know how I said I'm not going to be able to do reviews tomorrow? Yeah, that's out of the bag now because my trip has been moved to next Thursday. So a week from now would be my trip. So a week from Thursday is going to be my trip. So that's when the trip will be. And then the actual, so I will be able to review shows for you tomorrow. I will review Graceland in the flesh and Zack Snow's Gonna Be Famous. And so now let's get to the episode. I thought it was a really, really good episode. And the ending, though, I didn't really like the ending. I mean, I thought it was very anticlimactic towards the end. Because, I mean, they set things up like a way it was going to go, and it didn't go that way, and I wish it would have, but I think that's how it's going to go in the finale. So the episode pretty much is all about how Jenna is pretty much having all these fantasies about Colin. No matter what she's doing with Maddie, she fantasizes Colin, and it's not, like, wholesome. He's like, in any time, it's something either revealing, like, at one point she had him in a doctor's outfit, and Tamara kind of tells her how it's okay to have a crush on somebody that's not your boyfriend, and she said how she had a crush on Niall from One Direction, and how she sometimes wants to slide across the floor naked with Niall, and that was hilarious, honestly. Tamara just had such great lines in this episode. So pretty much then what happens is she is doing a paper in a writing class, and the teacher says you have the best time, and everyone writes about them. And so she writes about her first time with Maddie. But it turns out that it's a fantasy paper, but the teacher really did like it because he saw how it could be real. And we find out that Sadie is watching Colin and Maddie. Not Colin and Maddie, but Colin and Jenna. Because Jenna pretty much is, now that Colin likes her, he sees something in her eyelash and he blows it out, and Sadie sees the signs, and she sees how Jenna has a crush on Colin, and she tries to tell Maddie, but, when Sadie says, Jenna has something to tell you, she says how, I got an A on my paper! And that was hilarious, honestly. When she did that, that was hilarious because she tried to cover up the fact that she, had a crush on somebody. I thought that was really, really funny, and definitely one of the funniest parts, I think, was that scene with Sadie and Jenna. That scene was just so, so good. I'm glad Sadie had more to do in this episode because she hasn't had a lot to do in the episodes for a while now. Since the Halloween episode, I think. But then what happens is that we see how everything's going great with Maddie, but then she realizes she needs to tell Maddie, and she tells her parents all about it. Her parents, again, say it's perfectly fine, but how she needs to tell Maddie about this. And Maddie, this is when the episode got really stupid. Maddie says how, he says, come, we gotta talk about this paper right now. She comes over, and he says, I know that wasn't how the first time wasn't, but that doesn't mean it can't be. And then they have sex. And that's how it ends. And it ends with her saying, I'm completely over Colin. No, you're not. No, you're not. Say what you want. We know you're not, because next week is sorry, the phone is ringing, but I'm going to continue. You're not over Colin because we can just tell that you're not over Colin. So stop saying you're over him because you're not over him. And I just thought that ending was really, really stupid. I didn't think it needed to end that way, and I thought it wasn't a very good way to end the episode. I just would have wanted to end it a little bit more bigger and more dramatic. But yeah, that was a cute scene, but I didn't like it. I didn't like that scene at all because I felt like it was very anticlimactic. I thought that Maddie was going to break up with her, and how now it's going to be, but now it's like season 2 again, and I was so upset that this would happen because I read what happened in season 2. It's the same exact plot as season 2 for season 3. With season 2, it was her choosing between Jake and Maddie. Now it's her choosing between Maddie and Colin, because next next week, the episode is all about how Colin's girlfriend is hosting a party, but there's another party going on that everybody else is going to. Which party does she choose? Is that not the same finale as last year's? It's going to be a little bit different, but I don't know. What I loved about the episode, though, what was my favorite plot, was definitely Ming. Ming was hilarious in this episode. Like, I think Ming was probably the star of this episode. She was so great. Anytime she referenced Fred Wu, they're like, Fred who? Fred Wu. That was hilarious right there. Pretty much, things are getting worse with her and Becca. Which I don't know why she called her Kitty when she punched her in the face. Why did she say, goodbye, Kitty? That doesn't really make sense to me. But, you know, she's finding out that she's dating Fred Wu. And, we find out that she's only using Henry as a fake boyfriend, and we've known that, but, you know, Henry is her fake boyfriend, and you know, Becca eventually finds out. So, then what happens is she, sees how, she's just very, very upset, and she punches Kitty in the face. And honestly, not Kitty, but she punches Becca in the face. I'm saying Kitty because she said, goodbye, Kitty. So why did you say goodbye, Kitty? That doesn't make any sense. Her name is Becca, not Kitty. Her name is Becca. So is her last name Becca Kitty? That doesn't make sense. And I like the part where she said, you know what, I'm not an Asian bitch. I'm a white bitch. And this is how a white bitch fights an Asian bitch. And that was really funny. And I thought that was great. And so then what happens is they both get called to Val's office. And we kind of see a really good scene going on between the two of them. And Val says how, oh, but 300 students said that Becca walked into a door. And we find out that people are backing up Ming. So I think what's going to happen with Ming is that now she's going to have to keep it. Now she's going to have to keep this secret inside of her. But I don't think she's going to be able to. I think she's going to really come out in the finale and say how, you know, I was the one that punched Becca. I think she's going to say it because that was kind of out of character for her. Not really out of character for Ming, but I thought it was interesting that she didn't just tell Val that, you know, I'm the one that punched her in the face. She should have just come out and say it. And I don't understand why she didn't. Because I just think it would have been a better scene if that had happened. But it didn't happen. And I was happy with the way things went overall. And overall, this was a really good episode. It was really good. I did feel like Maddie was being kind of annoying this episode. You know, like, how can you not tell something's going on between Colin and Jenna? I mean, they're with each other. She's looking at him 24/7. You know, even the scene where they're having sex, you know, she's trying to fake it. And I thought the beginning was ridiculous when they were having sex and she was trying to fake it. And I thought that was interesting that she was having all these fantasies about Colin. How can you not tell she likes Colin? And is it so bad for her? And I think it is bad for her to have a crush on someone when you have a boyfriend. Like, the little crush is okay, but Jenna's is like an obsessive crush. And it's not something that I think is going to end up well. So, honestly, this was a really good episode, but I do think it was a pretty big episode, and I really did like it. And I definitely think it's not, like, the best of the season. It wasn't as good as last week's, but I really loved the Ming stuff. I thought Ming really was the star of the episode. Not much with Jake and Tamara. Like, they were sort of, like, the background characters, and I don't really like that Jake and Tamara were background characters, but I thought it was still a really great episode, and I really did like it. So, that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think is going to happen with Jenna, Colin, and Maddie? Who do you think she's going to end up with in the end? I think she's going to end up with Colin. Do you think that Sadie is going to be the one to tell Maddie? Or do you think that Jenna's going to be the one to tell Maddie? Do you think Ming will come forth to Val and tell her how I was the one that punched Becca? And why did Ming call Becca Kitty? I don't understand that. That's it for my review. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next video. Okay, bye.